Okay, let's see if people got their notifications now. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's get into it, man. You guys been reaching out something crazy to me. So let's see what happens. Don't look like it. Look, we just gonna ride this one out, man. I'm not gonna keep making the same video 1,000 times. So it is what it is. Whatever trash they on right now, I can't even help them. But anyway, this is what it is. For the people that don't know, and all the people that are new who might end up getting the notification later, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and when you do hit the notification bell, make sure you select all. Now, this whole day y'all been asking me about Dehaven, and I guess you've been seeing the Djvlad. Shouts out to Djvlad and his videos. I guess you guys have been seeing the videos and definitely wondering, like, okay, what's this all about? And you got to tell us the truth, man. I seen the Dehaven video, and I was just busy, so I didn't really have a lot of time to dedicate to telling y'all what was going on. I thought I talked and spoke about a lot of this stuff before with Headache, and he has been minimized. Like, his self-worth and what he brought to the table, they make him look like a hanger-on, not somebody who was actually doing things, out there, And it's sad because that happens to a lot of people and got crews. But at one time, Jay was under him. That's all facts. So if he told you, all the things about his past and things of that nature, believe it. Jay used to be under him. So at one point, I'm not saying that, like he was a punk. They was neighbors. They grew up in the same building. They was neighbors. They was best friends. They were like brothers. And, things change. People go their separate ways. They do different things. And, I mean, Jay-Z's career is manifest destiny. He was destined to be where he's at. That's how I look at it. I look at it like, man, that guy is doing something that probably a lot of other guys ain't doing. And to me, that's the best way to look at it. I look at him as a talent. I think he's multifaceted, multi-talented individual. So when I see him or hear about some things that he's done, somebody's got to show or prove to me something else. Otherwise, most of the things he talked about was real. But a lot of it wasn't him and them stories he was telling. And you wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for Dehaven. So a lot of people don't understand it. I know a friend like that. We got a friend that's similar to that. The people he grew up with knew him and knew what he was. And once he got money, he tried to create a fake persona of who he was because he had money. And a new set of people who don't really know him, they looked at him like he was the Don. So naturally, he couldn't hang around the people he knew and kick it with them because they gonna treat him just like he any old type of person. Like they were bigger than him at one time, so they was never look up to him. And he wanted that admiration. He wanted to be looked up to. So he didn't deal with those people no more. He cut them off completely. Now they were salty about it, and then when he fell off, they were the ones to tell him, like, dude, we could have, You fell and went into this fake persona. You should have just called us. We had your back. We were crew. And then you got the money and got different. So this story can similarly go with that. It's the same type of narrative. An individual who sees a way out and take it. When Dehaven went in to do his time in his trial, there were rumors going around that, yo, he talking, he ain't moving right. And that just came out of thin air. Why would someone create that about Dehaven? Where did that come from? Nobody in the streets that was in the streets would even play with something like that and say that about Dehaven. Headache? Are you kidding? He don't have the makeup of somebody that's finna go in there and cooperate. And I think Jay knows that. But when he put that song out and he said, so F Dehaven for caving, that's why we don't speak. Made men ain't supposed to make statements. Now, a lot of people assume that line meant, oh, he told on somebody. He gave a statement to get out. And he's an informant, and he did this and he did that. All of these accusations start coming out of thin air. And please hit the like button, people. You guys, 8 likes? Are you kidding me? I understand they're not sending out the notifications, but my goodness. That's just ridiculous. I mean, he's on Vlad because he really don't understand what the reason is. That had nothing to do with why Jay wasn't speaking to him. That's why we don't speak. He caved in. The reason he wasn't dealing with Dehaven is because when Dehaven came home, and even when Dehaven was in there, he couldn't be associated with him. He was in a space where he couldn't move or be around Dehaven or be associated with him. He couldn't be associated with any type of felons and things of that nature. When he was on probation, Jay was on probation, and he really couldn't be around Dehaven. And had Dehaven came home and tried to reach out and see what was what, because when he came out, the whole Rockefeller thing was over. He went in like right when it was blowing up, and it was like the biggest thing in the world. Comes home, it's all broke up. Dame gone, doing his thing. Everybody's doing their thing separately, and he just coming home. And everybody back home in Marcy, nobody doing nothing. And dudes are shocked. Dehaven, you know, like they like, man, I thought Jay would have something waiting for you when you came home. And he probably felt a certain way. And he probably, you know, like, man, you ain't even reach out to me. You know, I'm home and ain't nobody even hitting me up. And that was like his right-hand man at the time. But it wasn't like they was like still tight like that when he went in. Jay was already moving different. Once Volume 2 blew, he was already moving different. The same dash he was Jay. Then Keith Murray and his dudes, you know, when they opened up bottles on Dame Dash head, Dame Dash went and called Dehaven. He called Headache. Like, They just hit me up with the bottle in the club. No, so Dehaven did what a street dude do. They react. You know, this is a dude who just came home. And he did something he shouldn't have done. And that led to the Jay-Z lyric that you heard. The F Dehaven for caving, that's why we don't speak. Made man ain't supposed to make statements. That's because of the video that he put out on YouTube talking about he was finna deal with Taylor on Jay-Z. And he was like, I shouldn't be out here doing this. And he was on the video giving up all this. I'm going to tell how foul your mother is. I'm going to tell how foul your family is. And he's like, I don't want to be doing all this stuff here. I ain't supposed to be doing this. But what am I supposed to do? You know, you got us out here. And it was just making Jay look bad. And that's what Jay was like. This is why we don't speak. You're not supposed to make statements. Like the things he was saying about Jay's family and about those things, he shouldn't have been saying that on YouTube. So that's what Jay was referring to. Not he made statements in jail. But people assume that, and they never clarified it. And then it made Dehaven look like he was a snitch. Now, Jay was keeping his distance based on the fact he was in a new place. And he could not be associated with Dehaven and anybody like that anymore. But when Emery comes home, you know, Emery gets a spot, Emery's on, and this and that, and it was like, whoa, what's up? And then Emery, none of these dudes are clarifying, and none of these dudes dealing with Dehaven. Biggs, all of them, everybody back except for Dame and Dehaven. What did Emery do that Dehaven didn't do? Emery didn't make a statement about Jay. Emery didn't go on YouTube and make a video talking about Jay. That's the only thing that really messed Dehaven up completely. If had he been patient and waited for people to get back to him and kept his head low, things would have probably worked out a lot better. But because he decided to do it that way, and they looked at it like that was really foul and disrespectful to go that route and put out personal business about his mother, his parents, his sister, and stuff like that, he was crossing a line. So to distance themselves from it was the best solution for them. And Jay, at that time when Dehaven came on, he was in a transitional state. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. Come on now. This is real talk. Y'all, it don't cost you 2 cents. It don't cost you 1 cent. It don't cost you half a penny to hit the like button. So ultimately, well, Cap, Don, all of this is old news. But it's new news now because Vlad just interviewed Dehaven. So everybody's asking me about it. Now, in the interview, I saw Dehaven said he didn't know. Like, he's like, I just don't know why this dude doing this. But once Volume 2 blew, Jay was moving different anyway. He wanted to be in that corporate spot. He always wanted to be up there and be a CEO and running things. And at that time, he was like president of Def Jam and stepping down from being president of Def Jam and coming back to, you know, rapping again. I believe that had he just stayed quiet and, you know, just worked through the channels, he knew how to get in contact with Jay. He knew who to contact that would have got back to Jay, because as soon as he did that, word got back and people were salty. He knew he went away. You ain't supposed to go. His brothers is disrespecting you. You don't have to be that disrespectful coming back. He knew that's foul. That's off limits. The stuff he was talking about with that family in that video. And I knew Jay was gonna feel a certain way. Jay ain't finna holler at you. He gonna move in silence. And the fact that he even got part of a bar out of Jay just lets you know how disturbed Jay was with that video. The first song Jay-Z ever done with Nas and recorded together, that whole verse is about Dehaven. Hovering over the oven, we was like brothers then, even though you was just the son of my mother's friend. We had governed, and who would think the love would end? You see? Now it's gonna make you think twice when you go back and listen to that song. That's about Dehaven. Now, he had a lot of jabs and songs where he had verses going at Dehaven and mentioning things about it, but this is the way Jay vents when he don't really want to talk about it. He want to talk about it, but he don't want to give publicity anymore to it. Because that story, Truth Behind Jay-Z on YouTube, and Jay was a snake and all this stuff that they were pushing, that narrative, you know, that was damaging to his brand. And he's like in the transitional state. Somebody out there that knew him, and he couldn't even deny it. He knew this person. Like, he can never deny, like, me and that dude wasn't close at all. He could never say that. You know, and this person is feeling a certain way. You know, because he felt like, man, dudes, you know, we should have something. This dude's back in Marcy. You know, what's going on here? Why dudes ain't on? Why dudes ain't eating? And it was making people look bad. So, it is what it is. Times change, people change, things have changed. You know, the situation's changed. Now, I wouldn't say Blueprint 3 is a classic, dog. Not at all. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why Dehaven went out and said all those things, and it put everybody in a different space. Like, if people didn't feel good about that. A lot of people on Jay's side, you know, because this is mentioning Jay's family, his sisters, his brother, his mom, and you know that's disrespectful when you mentioning moms and talking about how foul his mom was and all that stuff. That's very disrespectful. And you know he was hurt. He really thought like Jay was gonna hold me down or something, you know, do something. So when he come home, you know, he's disappointed. He hurt. And rather than going through the proper channels and he ain't getting, like, people didn't get back to him in the time he felt was appropriate. But had he been patient, he would have a spot right now in Rock Nation, I think. If he never did those videos and never did those things, I think he would have had a spot. But they gave the inclination to make it look or appear as if he was snitching, which wasn't the case. He was not. This had nothing to do with snitching on somebody in jail or nothing like that. This had nothing to do with that. They gave the appearance of it. You know how when somebody don't have a reason not to mess with you, and they know it, or they know it's a jealousy, petty reason, they'll just be like, man, he know what he did. I don't want to talk about it. You be like, well, what did he do? And they can't say it because if they say it, they know you'll look at them like they're a sucker or they stupid. Like, you mad over that? So they can't even say it. They just be like, I don't want to talk about it. And make it like it's major. Because they can't even tell you the real reason why. Because you'll look at them like they, you know, a bunch of stupid idiots. So while Dehaven was in, Jay wasn't seeing him. And it's just about the faith of God. Jay didn't get busted. They just got him. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up going down. Now, if Dehaven was snitching or informing people, Jay would have been in there with him. So that's what I'm saying. This couldn't be about that. Because if he was doing that, he could have gave him Jay. He could have gave up a lot of people. See, a lot of people don't understand, you know, and this is why I say Jay, no. Like when Jay Blue and had Volume 2 going on and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? When he had all that going on and they were touring and doing their shows and Dehaven came out, met up with him, and they were doing it big. He came in, saw him, everything. Jay was still Jay then. Then a little bit, he was trying to move a little different from Dame. He was trying to get his own team to represent him. And after Volume 3, he was like, okay, this is how I'm moving. You know, I'm moving to a superstar. He was gravitating more to Leor. As Leor was there and he recognized Jay's talent and business acumen, he was more professional. Hey, you don't gotta believe me. I mean, Dehaven got an Instagram. Ask him everything that I'm just saying in this video. I invite you to go ask Dehaven every single thing I just said in this video and see his response. I'm very interested to see what he say. My thing is, I understood why he couldn't be with Dehaven, but I don't understand why he didn't make it right. You know, Jay was in a position that he could have made it right, but I understood what Dehaven did, and they could have fixed that, which I thought they were going to have a sit down and fix it. You know, where like Emery and all those guys would have just said, you know, that's headache, you know, let's let's at least try to make him happy. He apologized for the things he did with the mom and everything else. Let's just make that right. Now, he has done so much to the point where I don't know if they even, is interested in going down that road no more. It's like things he said, it's like stuff you really don't say. Even in a book, I wouldn't have put that. So it is what it is. He said some really disrespectful things. I'm not going to go about all going to like what he was saying. It's just that you kind of put his mom's out there in a negative light. And nobody, like on a diss record, nobody ever did that to Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like put his moms in a situation like that, or his sisters, and like, come on. It was a disrespectful video. And because of that, Jay had to give him a bar on that song. And after that, it never was the same again. So all I could tell you is that it was noticeable. So go listen to the Black Republicans, the first song Jay did with Nas, and then you will see for yourself that whole verse Jay is talking about Dehaven. And you can get your answers from a lot of those records. So I'm out. Don't forget to support the page. Hit the Cash App, which is Carcino on the Cash App. And definitely hit the Streamlab up. And the Streamlab is in the description box. Hit donate. And then we'll go from there.